Today happens to be the last day for the month of May 2025. I mean, today is already 31st of May and the year remains 2025 as I had said. In front of the lens is already Oracle Benson Pastore, the anchor for tonight's news at West Nile Television. The program is called NILECAST News at West Nile Television. It's always from Mondays to Saturdays from the hour of 7 up to the hour of 8 p.m. And of course, as usual, you know what we start with. It's the headlines, and then shortly I will be bouncing back with the details.
Coming up in the NILECAST news headline tonight, Church of Uganda gears up for Mother's Day celebration with youth conference. Food for the Hungry organization in Adjumani opens farmers exhibition. And Erepi locals raise concern to leaders over lack of clean water. For this and more in the NILECAST News Bulletin.
Welcome back from the headlines. Now straight into the details of the news. We are commencing it with the religious story. Church of Uganda gears up for Mother's Day celebration with the youth conference held by the Provincial Youth and Children's Ministry Church of Uganda. The church has been involved in various activities leading up to the celebrations scheduled for June 3rd, 2025 at the Anglican Matters site in Namugongo. Alfred Jao continues to be with the pilgrims, and he reports about that.
The Church of Uganda is gearing up for the Mother's Day celebrations with a focus on youth engagement. The youth conference held by the Provincial Youth and Children's Ministry Church of Uganda, the church has been involved in various activities leading up to the celebrations. Reverend Emmanuel Okoboy, Provincial Youth and Children Coordinator Church of Uganda, remarked that the conference is aimed to guide youths in bringing them upright. According to Reverend Okoboy, the youth conference was celebrated ahead of Mother's Day to strengthen the youth ministry.
When we are celebrating the Uganda Matters Youth Day celebrations, we have invited so many schools. We wrote to many of the schools of the Church of Uganda, and we have invited young men and young women to be part of this year's celebration.
Reverend Okoboy added that the Church of Uganda has planned activities including youth, children's, men's and women's programs culminating in the installation of solar lighting at the Anglican Shrine to improve visibility and safety.
The target population for this celebration are youth and students. We had a Children's Day on the 24th, last Friday. Children were here. Children that is 11 years and below. Today we are having youth and students, those in tertiary institutions, those in university, those at the workplace. And so that is youth from 12 years to 35. That is our target.
Jovia Kwagala, a student of Okiso SS, one of the youths who attended the conference, shared her experience during the conference and allowed the Right Reverend Ponzo Zelawinju, the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, who was the main celebrant, for his powerful message of encouragement to the youths.
And it's such a privilege that I'm here, and I thank God that I got this opportunity. It's such a wonderful moment to be part of the youth conference, because we learn very many things that are very much important in our lives, and I think every child needs this. So thank you very much for allowing us to come here.
The Church of Uganda's Northern Uganda cluster is leading the preparations for this year's celebrations scheduled for June 3rd at the Anglican Matters Shrine in Namugongo. The cluster, comprising 6 dioceses, has developed a shillings 2.2 billion budget, partly funded by the government support, with each diocese contributing 20 million shillings. The celebrations commemorate the 22 Catholic and 23 Anglican converts who were executed for their faith between 1885 and 1887 under the reign of Kabaka Mwanga 22nd of Buganda. The event draws millions of pilgrims from Uganda and beyond, making it one of the largest religious gatherings in the country.
All is set for Namugongo 2025. Here where we are at Uganda Matters Anglican Shrine, whereby so many activities have started 2 weeks ago, and today we are blessed to have the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Bonzo Zelawinju, who will be talking to thousands of youths here gathered at the Anglican shrines, and we hope to bring you more happening here in Namugongo. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Namugongo.
Away from that story, moving to Adjumani, Food for the Hungry organization in Adjumani district opens a farmers exhibition. This was organized in order to check the level of food production through open display of produces from farmers. Onzima Alan reports about that.
Food for the Hungry, a Norwegian-funded merit organization who works closely with production aspects, mostly in refugee camps in Adjumani district, have held Open Farmer Day. This was organized in order to check the level of food production through open display of produces from farmers. Shandia Kosley, the project officer, Food for the Hungry Adjumani Field Office, highlighted the overview and said this display will come out with best producers and they will be appreciated for their hard work.
But basically why we are here today is the Open Farmers Day. And I'm grateful for those farmers who are here, for the youths who are able to display their items here. We hope that at the end of this, we shall be able to award at least about 3 farmers out of the farmers who have come here, based on how well they have displayed their items, the quantity of items, and maybe how many members in each farmer group that has come to display these items.
Andruga Felix, the Refugee Welfare Committee, applauded Food for the Hungry for the initiative of equipping farmers with production knowledge.
Today I'm also part of the celebrations. The major things why I was here today, because the Food for the Hungry implementing their projects in our settlement, they have their intervention in the settlement. We work with them, and we have different categories of groups in the settlement. Those who are in livelihoods, also youth, we have them on ground. So today I've come to witness, because our peoples were supported and they were trained, they were given skills. So now I wanted to see the fruits of what they have on ground.
Amovo Richard Anzo, one of the leaders in Okusijoni sub-county local government, appealed to the locals to take the support as first priority. He appealed to locals of Okusijoni to work hard because the area happened to be the food basket of Adjumani district.
Anya bukaria koro nikitire aba mburi bati onya sitile nira oko baki sitile bukaria anirane koro zonya are likaria obima serin rezo itezo deri bati sikitire aria abiriyo kare stiga tarindiyo nya de ar meriti nyesu aso seria ligaga nya zaipi nyesu ar seri gaga Nyarinya pia Yesu siriari gaga tia nyerida seriko tu bidi siria anyistia bri okoti kendrawa tanyale yoto asi aruta melita tebe jole manzabiri kare de anyibalo sona kolo anyinia a anyibalenya kolo a ari jo fua etere kwa Ukusizoni the food basket jaipiri amina tuman district ile kizonye ali anyi konyi drivers dia enene nyanyale baruri asayo de alota ane tatwere ko konyi ngindi gamet ko kwa nyine le chetito konyi ngindi entio singindi keti anyine le chetito talibati anyibebu.
Odong Joseph, a refugee in Maji 3 settlement, appreciated the Organization of Food for the Hungry for the support and said they choose poultry as their enterprise, which is helpful for them, and this meant them to be able to pay school fees and feed themselves.
We came with idea of poultry when we are selected from a business. It was for a youth group, whereby the NRC are the ones select us, and they give us skills of, they train us on poultry. So after that, they tell us that they are going to give us money to buy the chicken. Indeed, they train us, but they did not give us the money. So we raise up our money from the VSLA group to buy the chicken. So we start our poultry. So that NRS, this one, Food for the Hungry, come in and they engage us. They give us also some money. We use that money to buy a crop. So we buy a crop. So and we start up also digging. So right now last time they give us money, which is 740. We use it for buying crop and for food security.
Community in Irie Parish received cash grant from last year 2024, where a lot of items and cash was granted to the host community and refugees to sustain their lives. Kashundwath Fancy Onzima Alan reporting for West Nile Television NILECAST. Cash was granted to the host community and refugees to sustain their lives. Kashundwath Fancy Onzima.
Away from that story, communities in Erepi have raised concern over inadequate of clean water. This concern was raised during a meeting organized by the chairperson in the district. Take a look at the story, being reported by Okumu Dominic.
The dialogue comes after some community members approached the chairman Local Council 5 over the water crisis, which has hit the area, and demanded immediate intervention from the district leaders to avert the situation. Venerable Maku Fabian, the Archdeacon Madi Archdeaconry, stressed that the water crisis in the area has affected production among the population in the sense that women rarely sleep in their houses as they go in search for clean water.
We realize Erepi Radomo is one of the community where water shortage is so great. And one of the key issue in regards to this is that women don't sleep in the house. They have to look for water, and this also reduce production, both the human production and as well development is really something really hard right now because of lack of water. And I believe strongly if this intervention can be made where these communities supply with clean water, issues of production can be solved. We are suffering greatly here in Moyo in regards to population, but lack of clean water, of course, affect even the growth of population.
Alaro Robert Asusi, the secretary Erepi Development Forum, say lack of clean water in the area is one of the key challenges the locals face and appeals for immediate intervention from the district leaders.
We are requesting the leaders to address these issues so that we also fit in the community. The most challenge we are facing here is lack of reliable water source, which is affecting the community at large.
Ongere Tojeska, the Chief Administrative Officer Moyo, shares a view on how best the water crisis issue can be resolved, saying the district is ready to drill a new borehole within the area so long as the community are willing to receive the borehole.
Unfortunately, where they tried to site the borehole, there was no water. So there was a bit of disagreement on where they should put it. That is what I was told. And with water, if it is not there, you cannot force it. Otherwise, we will burn 20-something million, which does not make sense. That's why it was shifted. So for me, basically, that's why I came. I was thinking there is a better place which these people had already advised you, and you were willing to take it. It is agreeable where they have sited and there is water. I think that can work. But I have two posts. I am a chief administrative officer and an accounting officer. In being an accounting officer, I don't accept wastage. Accepting to put water where there is no water, I think that will not be fair.
Anyama Williams, the chairman Local Council 5, who convened the dialogue meeting, gives details of the immediate interventions the district has in place to resolve the water crisis in the area.
The critical water scarcity in this community, we had developed piped water system, solar powered, but now the inverter developed some problems due to operations and maintenance challenges. Besides that, the population has grown, and the community here is demanding for access to national water and sewage corporation services, but also boreholes for backup and water supply. So we have had a very successful meeting. National Water participated in the meeting. They have committed to start trenching and laying of pipes to connect the community to water. We, as a district, we have also allocated one borehole, which will also be drilled next week in this community. Besides that, we have also agreed to repair. The community should raise resources because the role of operations and maintenance is a responsibility of the community members. So they are also going to mobilize resources for repair of the pipe water system, which is solar powered.
The community had earlier on relied on a solar piped water system that has been supplying water in the area, but recently the system broke down, making the women traverse long distances in a bid to access clean water. It's from this background that the locals raised their concerns to the district leaders, seeking immediate intervention into the matter. Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, NILECAST.
From that, now moving to the world of sports, and we are starting it with the game tonight. Actually, the long-awaited fixture is already on the card tonight at 10 p.m. East African time is when Paris Saint-Germain, a team that comes from France, will be battling it out with a team that comes from Italy in the names of Inter Milan. Inter Milan, of course, knocked out Barcelona in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, for Paris Saint-Germain, they did sweep away the team that comes from London, particularly in England, Arsenal. They are clashing tonight to see the winner for 2024/2025 UEFA Champions League season. That is the latest update and the biggest story in sports tonight. But before I leave the studios, some updates in the transfer rumors and gossips. Arsenal have begun talks with RB Leipzig in an attempt to sign 21-year-old Slovenia forward Benjamin Sesko, who has a release clause worth over 80 million euros. That's equivalent to 67.4 million pounds, and that has been reported by Sky German in German. Away from that, moving to the neighboring club to Arsenal, I am talking about Manchester United. The club are still open to offers for England's Kobe Mainoo, 20, even if his fellow midfielder, Portugal international Bruno Fernandes, leaves Old Trafford, and this has been reported by iPaper. Moving to Asian football, Saudi side Al Hilal are expected to appoint Inter Milan boss Simeone Inzaghi as their new head coach following Saturday's Champions League final, and this has been reported by Sky Sports. Still keeping the pace within Saudi Professional League, Al Hilal have held talks about signing 40-year-old Portugal forward Cristiano Ronaldo, who could be a free agent next month if he does not sign a new deal with the fellow Saudi club Al Nassr. This again has been reported by Sky Sports. Ronaldo, however, is said to have reached an agreement to extend his stay with Al Nassr, and this has been reported by Foot Mercato in France. Moving to London, Chelsea will ask striker Liam Delap to put the Club World Cup ahead of playing for England at the European Under-21 Championship, with the 22-year-old set to complete his move from Ipswich Town, and this has been reported by Daily Telegraph. Moving back to Saudi Professional League, Al Hilal are in talks with AC Milan over a deal for 27-year-old France left-back Theo Hernandez, who is a leading summer target for the Saudi Pro League side, and this has been reported by transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Moving to Spain in relation to what's happened at the camp of Manchester United, officials from Real Betis will meet with their counterparts from Manchester United next week to discuss the future of 26-year-old Brazil winger Anthony, with the Red Devils unlikely to let him leave on loan again. And this has been reported by Marca in Spanish. Moving to Chelsea, French forward Christopher Nkunku will leave Chelsea this summer, while Tottenham have made an inquiry over the 27-year-old's availability, and this has been reported by TalkSport. Moving to Italy, AC Milan will not make Kyle Walker's loan move from Manchester City permanent, but the England right-back 35 has no future in Pep Guardiola's side, and this has been reported by Fabrizio Romano. Moving to France, Paris Saint-Germain have joined Manchester United and Chelsea in the race to sign highly rated Argentina attacking midfielder Franco Mastantuono, 17 years of age, from River Plate. This has been reported by a paper called Sky Sports. And in German winger Leroy Sané, 29, has been offered improved terms to remain at Bayern Munich, and this has been reported by Sky German in Germany. Lastly, Manchester United and Aston Villa are interested in Lille's 23-year-old French goalkeeper Lucas Sevilla, and this has been reported by a funny paper in the names of Cough Offside. That means there is also a paper in France called Cough Offside. I don't know what its meaning is, but you can interpret it called Cough Offside. With that, we are closing the chapter. What I want to say before I jump out of the studios is have the best of your night before you have the best of your weekend, because tonight we have a very big encounter. The final of the UEFA Champions League. My mind is full of Chelsea. Sorry about that. I need to apologize. Paris Saint-Germain up against Inter Milan at 10 p.m. East African time. For the married men, you need to start begging your woman early so that you don't quarrel. Have the best of your time.